Okay.
We got the intro right out first.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Welcome to the Team Podcast presents the Zero Series. I'm Smythe and I'm here by myself this time, but I got my main man Wells with me. Wells, what's going on?
How you doing?
I'm all right. Let's start at the beginning with the most exciting thing that happened today. Kyrie Irving to the Boston Celtics. Did you see this trade?
As I was leaving to come over here, I saw the rumblings on Twitter. A couple Woj bombs here and there.
Yeah.
But, is it done? Is it official?
It's done. It's a done deal. They have the paperwork sent into the league, apparently, and the call's going in. It's happened. I heard it's Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder.
That's it? They didn't get any draft picks?
I think there's draft picks in there, but none of that matters.
No, it doesn't. It
during
doesn't.
The year. The Nets pick in next year.
Okay.
It's basically the first pick, I guess. No,
He could be. That is. I mean, I know Cleveland. If LeBron's going after next year,
you need something good.
that's something to look forward to in the future. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know.
What do you sound distraught?
I don't know because
Is this a problem for you?
This it doesn't matter to me. It's still, I guess Cleveland. Maybe Boston's now the team to beat. I don't know.
No, Cleveland goes back to the finals exactly the same as the previous year. He just has to now beat up Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, it's gonna be sweet, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like Big Brother has to cut Little Brother's head off.
Yeah.
It's like, I guess it's Game of Thrones kind of stuff going on.
Watch that show, man.
You don't watch.
Spoiler alert! I don't watch it.
That is just horrible.
I've tried several times to get into it, and it's never worked out. I need a lot of time, and I don't have a lot of time.
That makes sense. Wells hosts a podcast called Horseplay. If you guys didn't know, he's a sports aficionado, passionate about sports.
Very.
Yeah,
Not Game of Thrones.
Not Game of Thrones, but sports, all sports. So I got one more thing for him before I get into what the series is about. Aaron Judge has struck out in a record high 37 games. More than pitchers who can't even hit. Now, is that a problem, or is that just like, well, sometimes he gets home runs, sometimes he strikes out?
Well, I think he's just getting exposed now, right?
They know how to hit him.
It's
pitch him.
It's a long season, right? So the guy was unreal for the first 3 months.
Yep.
And then pitchers adjust. They find out what he can't hit. Because I don't know if you guys remember last year when he came up, this is the player who he was last year around the same time.
Right.
He struck out a lot. If he did connect, it was going to go far. But I think it's just a case of pitchers adjusting to him. And that's what we're in right now.
So then, is he a 50 home run a season guy?
He could be because
okay, so he's there.
If you ever see him make contact,
yeah, it's gone.
It's going to go far, right?
Yeah.
Whether he was hitting 300, 330 for most of the year, that's never going to happen.
Right.
Never.
That's done.
Unless he adjusts, which everyone thought he did at the beginning of the year. So
so think of this comparison. Remember, there's so 4 or 5 years where Jose Bautista was 45 and up in home runs.
Yeah.
Is Aaron Judge that player?
No, they're kind of different, right? Because I mean, Judge is kind of more of like a Adam Dunn, or like guys who just kind of there's like 3 true outcomes. They either get a home run,
yeah,
they walk,
yeah,
or they strike out.
Right.
And that's a 3 true outcome player, and that's what Aaron Judge is.
So he's 250, 255, 40 home runs.
I would say 250 is a good year, 40 home runs. And then, the rest is whatever happens.
So he's Edwin Encarnacion, basically.
No, he's Aaron Judge. He's
his old man.
He's go for broke, Aaron Judge,
he's
man.
Go for broke. Okay, all right. We'll get back to some sports later. But I brought Wells here because I need someone that could talk wrestling, specifically WWE with me. And me and Wells watch it. And Nash and Joe Green, not so much. So I had to bring Wells in. Because I had to go through the State of the Union for the WWE and what I think happened, what should happen, what's good, and what completely sucks. So, Wells, first of all, I'm only talking the area from post-WrestleMania up to SummerSlam that's just passed, okay?
Yep.
I'm not going back in the history. Who cares? That was before. And we're predicting the future, obviously. We got nothing else to do.
Sweet.
But let's start with, right at WrestleMania, Goldberg, Lesnar, 2 part-timers, main event the show. Right after, the title's nowhere to be seen, Goldberg leaves, you're in a dead state. Normally, that is the time when the ratings drop to the lowest, okay?
Yes.
Removing the title from TV when the ratings are supposed to be lowest anyways, you take off your main authority figures. Do you think the authority figures have egos where they disappear when the ratings are low on purpose?
No, I just think they're. If you look at the big, like those part timers like Goldberg, Lesnar, even Cena to a point,
Yeah.
is these guys are older guys, right? And they're also what's the word I'm looking for? But they do more than just wrestle, right? Like they're too big to be there every day, doing the house shows, all that shit, right?
Right.
Especially they're more of like an investment, and you want. And also, like, if you're doing, like, Survivor Series, WrestleMania, certain pay-per-views, because of how part-time they are, they're more of a draw when they do show up.
Right.
So you'll see, like, in advance, Brock Lesnar's coming to Raw next week. He won't be here this week. So that's also more of, like, advance notice that these guys will be here.
So that brings the ratings up, sort of thing.
But you're right. It's like WrestleMania is, like, the season finale of WWE.
Right.
And then there's kind of like a lull, right? That's like sweep season for them.
Yeah, so they start building back up.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Now, the potential John Jones fight, which means Lesnar has to go off TV to A, trainer, to B, finish his suspension.
Mm-hmm.
Is it right him having a title?
Sure.
Because he's the biggest draw on the...
He's still under contract, right?
Yeah.
He's under contract till next WrestleMania. A lot of people thought that, with those stipulations that happened for WrestleMania, if he lost his title, he wouldn't come back. A lot of people were like, well... Because, in real life with John Jones and him both calling out each other, they thought for sure he was going to go. But he's still getting paid a good amount of money from WWE under a contract till next WrestleMania. So he's probably going to be in that title picture the whole time.
Does the Jones-Jones fights happen? Jones-Jones.
I'd be crazy if it didn't, right? That's because nowadays in this world where we have to see the super fights, we're going to be spoiled by, like, the biggest fight we're probably ever going to see this weekend with Mayweather and McGregor, right?
Yes.
And people just want more of that. They want more hybrid, catch weight fights, and they just want more and more of it. So, and people want to make money, right?
Yeah.
Like, John Jones will make the most money he's ever made if this happens.
That's okay. So that's his big payday sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, okay. I'm going to ask you about McGregor. Actually, you know what? I'm going to ask you right now. Who wins? Who wins that fight?
There's, It's hard to bet against a guy who's done boxing his whole life and done it probably better than most have, right?
Yep.
Even if he is 40, 41, whatever he's going at right now, it's hard to bet against that guy. But there's been so much propaganda and other stuff pushing me towards cheering for McGregor and hoping.
That you want him to win?
Not that I want him to win, but, like, it would shake up the sports world. If he did, it would be insane.
Is there? I don't think boxing has any more big fights. So,
well, this could be a big thing for boxing. Let's say if McGregor wins, then you could see more crossover from MMA. People thinking, well, look how much money McGregor just made fighting in a sport that he has never fought in, right?
Right.
Just because he knows how to throw some punches. I know he's training hard. He's learning how to box. But if other UFC fighters catch wind of this. Anyone who has a good punch and can learn how to box, like, it could open up the boxing world, right?
So then, based on that, do you think Ronda Rousey to WWE is the next logical thing?
Yes, because she's exposed. Her head is not in the UFC game anymore. The division has grown so much since she started it, which she was a pioneer for, and she will always be remembered for that. But these girls coming in now are disgusting. They're insane fighters. They punch harder. She was never a puncher or anything. She was just a break your arm type of girl. Yeah. And so for her to have a future, WWE is the logical choice, and it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time.
That's the next place she goes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, speaking of super fights in WWE, Undertaker and Roman Reigns. This match comes, this match goes, Taker's gone, Roman Reigns rides this all the way through for the next couple months. Mm-hmm. If everybody hates you, why would they make you retire the most beloved wrestler in the history of the sport? Does that make sense?
Because I don't know if you've been watching wrestling for the last year and a half, but Vince McMahon has a giant hard-on for Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And they will do anything they can to make this guy their guy, right? It went from when he won the Royal Rumble, not last year, the year before, had The Rock come down and raise his hand and push him. Who the hell boos The Rock? But they were just doing him because Roman Reigns was attached to him. And, so anything they can do to get Roman Reigns over, they try. And it doesn't work because the fans are bored of him. And he actually is a good worker. He's good at what he does. He's just boring. He's boring. Like
his 3 moves?
His 3 moves, yeah. How many times you could say ooh ah and do a spear, Superman punch someone.
And the 10 clotheslines in the corner.
Yeah, it's just
true. It's not a lot
it's
to
the
the
same
guy,
thing
is there?
over and over again.
Yeah, it's pretty rough to watch, actually.
Yeah.
And he takes all the big falls. Like at SummerSlam, he took the fall again. He takes the fall in a lot of major matches.
It's because he's a team player too, right? And that's another thing. That's another reason why the higher ups love him, is because he's that guy, right? He's a company guy.
Yeah,
he'll do whatever, but as long as he's up there, he'll do whatever. And there is a crowd that loves him. Obviously, he's not entirely hated, but
kids buy stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure his merchandise is up there in the top 10, and it's just like all the smarks, like the nerdy fans, or not nerdy fans, but like the fans who this is like, they love. I don't know. They just want the cookie cutter guy, right? They want people who are different, and he's just a big guy. Vince loves those guys, and that's just who he is. And they'll try whatever they can to push him
to get him over.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, okay. So here's. You saw the main event at SummerSlam, okay? Mm-hmm. Take a look at this. Think of this. Brock Lesnar has created superstars out of each and every other person in there, because Roman Reigns didn't get this high level until he surprise won that Royal Rumble, and then he takes on Lesnar, WrestleMania, sticks in until Rollins cashes in.
Yeah.
That's fine, okay? He fights Samoa Joe at Great Balls of Fire, best pay-per-view ever anyway.
G-Boff.
Right? Samoa Joe goes from just a regular guy people don't really know who he is to household name, complete badass, top of the line superstar. And then at SummerSlam, Braun Strowman puts Lesnar through 2 tables and throws a third one on him to become superhuman. Now, is it something to be said that Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman know how to create superstars?
And that's another part of this industry too, is it's not always about winning, right? It's not always about whoever can win. It's about putting guys over and making them so they can be big when you go, right? So I don't know. Like, I know you watched SummerSlam and Lesnar won, but the star of that show, that last match, was Braun Strowman.
Yes.
Like, people loved him. They loved him. And he just, I mean, that it's cool to watch him, because like, he went from being a family member of the Wyatt family and just being a big body to like, they've really embraced his skill set, which isn't very much, but he's a huge dude. And when they have him throwing ambulances over, throwing tables on top of people, it's an
absolute show. But for me, it goes to show that Brock Lesnar is the best at what he does. Like,
like that again, for a part-timer to come in, get slammed through 2 tables, announcer tables, and then get a table thrown on you. Yeah, like he. And again, another reason why he probably only does, one match a month,
because he gets hurt he goes through table in every match, basically.
He when he is performing, he does his best, and that's just and he gives it his all, and then you have to appreciate that too.
Yeah, and then Undertaker put him over before that, really good. It's right. Getting out of the main event, let's talk about someone like Finn Balor, who kind of lets me down consistently, and it's not because his in-ring stuff isn't good. I think it should be a cruiserweight. But for me, my main problem with Finn Balor is that, like, there is never a development of a story. He feuds consistently, and it's just boring match after boring match to double kick into the turnbuckle, the coup de grace, right? And then we haven't seen the Demon. So he was at this SummerSlam.
Yeah.
His last time coming out was last year's SummerSlam.
Yes, where he won the title.
Right. So now, the main part of his gimmick is the fact that he can turn into this superhuman creature who's exciting. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
And he doesn't do it for a whole year. Mm-hmm. And the other character, not that exciting.
No. What is he? Is he like a drifter or like a biker?
He's just like a regular dude. They brought a drifter in. He's supposed to jack you.
Yeah. Elias is jacked.
Yeah.
But no, and they actually, it's funny, they had him feuding with Balor.
Yeah, just to make sure that we understand how stupid.
There's a lot of guys right now, like Balor in WWE, both in Raw and SmackDown, who are kind of like, they don't know what to do with them. Yeah. They don't know where to go with them, right?
Well, you have a stable, right? You're selling merchandise for the Balor Club.
He's huge, man. He is huge.
Why don't they just put that together? That sounds super easy.
So what would you like him, like, where do you think he should go? What do you think he should do?
I think they form the Balor Club.
Oh, you would think they should do the club?
If they do the club, and then Balor goes main event, heel status, which that'd be cool to see.
It would be cool.
High-flying heel running around.
Sure.
Just like Neville For Neville, first of all, is probably my favorite guy on TV right now.
Well, they saved his career when they made him a bad guy.
Definitely. And he does everything so evil.
Yes.
They were playing Rocket League.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm so mad while winning the Rocket League championship.
He wouldn't break character,
yeah, right?
with his glasses on and his normal outfit.
It's so cool, but I don't understand the logic behind having Finn Balor go through all these useless feuds, and obviously you can't have him fight Brock Lesnar.
No.
It just doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
So, and that now the main event scene is just massive people.
Yes,
you're not big enough to be main event. So, does he win the Intercontinental title? What happens?
I mean, it seems like even. It would be a good idea because that Intercontinental title was kind of useless for a bit.
Wasn't even defended at SummerSlam. So
no, it wasn't. It wasn't, and that was a mistake. And there was a great promo, a great segment on Raw last night with coming out, Roman Reigns coming out, The Miz coming out, and kind of doing his own little pipe bomb sort of thing, a la CM Punk. But I think what you see now is they're making like that. The World Heavyweight title, or whatever you want to call it, Universal Championship, the Raw Championship, is more of like a heavyweight thing, right?
Yeah,
the big guys,
badass title,
and then you can have the rest of the big guys,
little guys,
sorry, but like the big time players, like the guys who sell merch and who are big. You can have them go for the IC title and make that title more
relevant,
right?
Bigger, yeah.
Which I think The Miz has done a good job of doing.
He's a great champion. He's one of my favorite wrestlers. Actually.
He went away for a bit and he was like. He disappeared, and now he's, when he came back with his wife, probably about a year or so ago, he's turned it around. And now even with that Miz Taraj he's got, it's great, man. He's doing a great job as a heel.
Yep. Well, he's one of the best heels in the company.
Yes.
I think he has been the whole time. There was a time when he was down, but I was like, is it really downtime? It's just really him winning and losing the Intercontinental title, technically.
The good thing about him is all the storylines he's in are worth watching because... they make you want to tune in and see what he's going to do next, who's going to feud with next, who's going to come down and fight with him and the Miz Taraj,
et cetera. I want to see him get beat up, which is really my favorite thing to watch.
I do like watching. I like watching Maurice too.
Yeah, it's great.
She was looking really good last night.
Yeah, she looked good. It's good. But Bray Wyatt's my other guy. He belongs with the big heavy hosses, but not really. I like his gimmick, but I think they took it too far.
It's getting boring, man.
Yeah, like new Undertaker.
I don't know the whole supernatural stuff.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's like, maybe he probably would have been better back in the Attitude Era when you kind of like suspended belief a bit. Like there was a lot of supernatural stuff going on, but now it's like that stuff with him and Orton. With like the cabin and then like that match they had. And
they only did that because the Hardys had that crazy match.
Yeah,
that people appreciated, but it wasn't good. You know what I mean? And that people sometimes take things a little too far.
Yeah.
Because the Hardy match when they fought, it wasn't good television. It wasn't even a good wrestling match. It was different. Mm-hmm. And different doesn't mean you should duplicate it.
No.
Right? And that's what happened. They tried to make something out of it, and it ended up being the worst thing I've ever watched. Ever. It was really bad.
The supernatural weird stuff is not. People don't care about that nowadays.
No.
It's more realistic. The athletes are more athletic than ever. There's a lot of like good talent, and the wrestling speaks for itself, and the storylines speak for themselves. And this whole supernatural stuff doesn't
jive with you.
But there are people who love him, man, and he is a good worker. He's a good wrestler, but he's also in that Finn Balor era of like. What do we do with these guys?
Yeah,
what do we do with them?
The problem is, I think he shouldn't have left SmackDown. And a lot of guys are moving over for no reason. Like Bray Wyatt moved over for nothing. The Wyatt family was fine. They could have had a good run on SmackDown.
Yeah.
And Bray Wyatt was champion. Why would you move the champion from another show?
Yeah, it's...
Completely gets a rewrite. But we'll get to SmackDown. I feel like we got to talk about the women. So let me start with my favorite woman of all the women, Alexa Bliss.
There you go. Yep, I'm with you on that.
She's just fantastic.
She's good, man. She's a great heel.
Not the best wrestler.
No, but she's getting better.
Yeah.
She does well. She does what she needs. She's, aside from, I'd say, Charlotte and Becky, who are probably the best, and Bayley in the ring, but she has something else, right? She has a lot of merchandise sold.
Yep.
She's got a great personality. She's great. Like, people love her.
She looks like Harley girls. Quinn. That's really what it comes down
and
to.
They're really pushing that.
It's a very smart gimmick. She really did a good job with that.
Yeah.
Now, the rest of like Sasha Banks just won the championship. Mm-hmm. I like her. I'm not attached to her in any way. Like, I don't care if she wrestles. I don't care when she wrestles.
Something about her I don't like.
Yeah,
I don't like her. I don't know, man. Her attitude, like she's like sassy all the time, and like does like the head.
Wells does not like sassy people.
Well, I just like it's the same thing over and over again. And it's like I don't know. I never watched her in NXT because I wasn't into NXT then.
Oh man, you missed the classic.
No, I know. I've heard everything about it. The Four Horsewomen, all that stuff. Like they were all great. But I haven't bought into her in WWE. I haven't really dug her.
The thing about her character is her character doesn't have any actual character. And
no,
WWE
man, like
really,
what does that mean?
That.
Legit boss.
I don't. Well, here's my logic is someone like you remember the tweeners? Remember tweeners where after every pay-per-view you had no idea if they're going to be face or heel? They eliminated that.
Yeah.
Like, those were my favorite characters. Like, think of the favorite things you've seen. I remember CM Punk. Remember he was champion for a year?
Yeah.
And he went from a face champion to a nasty heel champion.
Yes.
Just randomly over time. Awesome.
Yeah.
Remember when The Rock would randomly one day Corporation Rock and decide to be regular? Right? Remember when Stone Cold Steve Austin was hugging Vince McMahon as a cute heel?
Yeah.
We don't see these character changes in wrestlers. So we're not seeing character development. And what we're missing out on is the fun of like not knowing what's going to happen week after week.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. There's a lot of predictability still.
I can't think of the last time I've seen a face heel turn on like television. That mattered. I'm sorry. I'm going to rephrase.
I'm trying to think.
That mattered.
Yeah. Well, I mean, big Cass recently, I guess.
To went heel. Yeah, exactly. That's why I said what mattered. We even talked about Cass.
Yeah.
So
well, there's not much talk.
No,
about there.
it's horrible. Horrible everything.
But yeah, I don't. Do you know what that means? Legit boss? Do you know?
Just means she's the boss. And
of what?
I don't know. She's Snoop Dogg's cousin. Give her a break.
I don't get it, man.
Anything else? The woman, Dana Brooke. She's cool.
She's a weird looking woman.
She's a weird looking woman.
She's got a lot of surgery done to her.
But she's still like an A. No?
More like a EH, like A. No, but like that division, the women's division is yes, like the best talent we've ever seen, probably.
Oh, the women's wrestling is by the best wrestling in the history of ever.
The bad thing about it is it's the same people every week, right?
There's not enough people to make it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true. And
there's only so much. Like, okay, Sasha won the title again. She's like bragging about being 4-time champion. Well, that means you lost it 3 times too, right? Like,
whoa, there's 16-time champions out there.
Yeah, I know. I like how they like brag about that. He's a 16-time champion. Yeah, that means he lost it 15 times too.
Losses with the title.
Yeah.
It's true. Tag teams. Anything special in there?
Well, I mean, we might be seeing one of the biggest ones now. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. Looks like that's what they've been. I wouldn't say demoted to, because they can bring that division. Not that it's bad, but it kicks it in the butt a bit.
I don't know. They fought the Hardys yesterday, and
it was good. It was a good match.
It was all right, but it's hard to watch the Hardys fight now. They're so old.
Well,
they're so old.
Yeah, they're old, and they're a shadow of what they used to be.
Yeah.
But I mean, we saw it with Cesaro and Sheamus last year when they started to become a team, and at first you were like, I don't think this is gonna work. And it's worked.
It looks really good now. Yeah, and I think that's a good way to go with people that kind of get lost in the shuffle.
And those two guys, like, what were they going to do with them, right? After
Nothing.
Rollins was done with Triple H,
No.
there wasn't much for him to do.
Did you see Rollins' new finisher? It's so hard to watch.
Man, he's got a new finisher every year.
It's like a knee.
Yeah, okay.
Knees him in the face. At one point, he just never did it. Now he's doing it. I'm like, I don't care about this. Stop this nonsense.
Did they ban the curb stomp?
Yeah, oh hell yeah. It just looks really bad.
Yeah,
when they said it, I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, no. But I still remember one of the best finishes to a match I ever saw was when he tried to curb stomp Randy Orton, and Orton just like shot him in the air with his head, and then RKO'd him right after. That was
the epic finish.
Yeah,
and then he danced around for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
It was a rough time. And that was the same one where Rollins cashed the money in the bank on the championship, which made it probably one of the greatest.
But like, as for tag teams, like
what I want to see, Dash Dawson, Ambrose Rollins.
Yeah, it's probably gonna happen.
One of them's hurt again though.
Yes, that's right. They were supposed to fight.
Yeah.
A while ago, and they got hurt.
Yeah.
But I mean, what else can you do with this division, right? I guess New Day left, and they were probably the biggest tag team. Tag team.
Wow, they had the biggest push.
Yes, and they were champions for over a year, well over a year.
Do you watch NXT?
Do I watch it?
Yeah.
I just watched Takeover, most of it.
You gotta call up the authors of
Yes,
Pain.
yes,
and
they
you
gotta go
call
up soon.
Sandy. You gotta call them both up.
Well, the authors of Pain just lost, so that usually means if their title's gone, they're on the way up.
Yeah.
Same with Bobby Roode.
Yeah.
He just, I think he might be on SmackDown tonight. That's what I was hearing.
Oh,
So,
I don't want to miss it.
well, I saw you were recording it.
Talking to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Quickly, cruiserweights. No one cares. But here's what I think should happen. 205 Live should periodically have rosters that are players that make the weight be on the show. And here's the guys I'm thinking about: Finn Balor, Kalisto, Seth Rollins, Xavier Woods.
You're missing one more.
Who
I think is someone who's lost right now, who they can boost their career a bit, and I'm thinking Enzo Amore.
I think Enzo is going to be banished there very soon.
Yeah.
There's no future for him on this main roster.
Oh, quick question. What happened with him last night with Big Cass, was that real?
Yeah, that's real injury.
So did you hear anything about it today?
There's MRI today. They're gonna find out what happened. But Cass is out for a while.
But that's real.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's real injury.
Man, I always wonder, how they quickly, because there's obviously some sort of script they have to follow when they're wrestling. But I'm wondering, because you see Enzo dancing and celebrating and calling Big Cass names when he wins.
Yeah. Because
he can't continue. But the guy's legit hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what they have to do.
Yeah, show must go on. That's
exactly.
And the ref probably goes in the ear and tells them what he needs to do.
Yeah. And that's
now Cass.
Cruiserweights, yeah. Or do you want to talk about cruiserweights still?
No, I'm done with cruiserweights.
Yeah, okay.
But okay, remember when the Big Show was in the ring and then Cass came and Cass attacked him with Gallows and Anderson?
Yes.
That's a good stable.
Yeah,
Why is
and I
that
thought
not happening?
This is what I was thinking. And maybe I'm crazy, but I thought that the Shield would reunite eventually, whether it was at SummerSlam and they were when they won the tag team, and I thought maybe they'd help Roman Reigns win the title at the end.
Right.
Down the road, it seems like it's going to happen. It does. But what if you counter that with a Bullet Club? You get Gallows Anderson, Big Cass, Finn Balor.
Yep.
Get all the gang back together and just create two huge stables.
Then you throw in the Wyatt family, so you have three.
Yeah, and you can go and get the Authority too while you're at it.
Yeah, and then
make a new Authority with Triple H and whoever else you want. Samoa Joe would be a good guy.
Would be in.
Whoever else you want.
Seth Rollins would come back.
Yeah.
Well, I think the Shield should form as a heel stable.
I don't know, man. That'd be a tough,
but people would hate them so much.
Yeah, but how do you make them hate you when
they used to love you? Well,
every time remember when they were in Toronto at Raw and Dean stuck his hand out to Rollins and there was a good minute of just people losing their mind in Toronto, just kids throwing their beer around, whatever, and then he doesn't give him the dap, and he walks out, and everyone's like, but then they finally reunite, right? It's they want it, people want it, and then the reason why they want it, how would you make them heel after that? What could you do?
It's like the NWO. They were heels, people cheered. Who cares? It's good TV.
I know.
People watch.
But what would be their storyline?
Who gets screwed over? Yeah,
who are the faces that they go after? Cena? No, people will love that.
People will think it's great.
Yeah.
Well, it was before they were heels technically too. They just started.
People just like the fact that
the Undertaker powerbomb through a table, everyone cheered, right?
Yeah.
So just go back to that.
Well, people, if you're a heel and you just beat the crap out of people kind of like Strowman, he's supposed to be a bad guy, but everyone just loves the carnage.
Strowman's a face.
Yeah, well now he is.
I don't know how else to say it. He's a good guy. Every time he comes out, he says some stuff. You're like, yeah, I'm cheering for that guy.
He doesn't say much. He just grunts and moans. I did like the one. I liked the one segment they had with him, probably about a year or so ago when Jericho was still around on Raw, and Jericho gave him a scarf because they were going to be on the same team. He just looks at it and ripped it up. He's pretty funny. As long as they just keep him like that, where he doesn't have to say much and just cause havoc.
Like Ultimate Haas, and that's good. It's perfect. That's hilarious. Let's go to SmackDown.
Okay.
Because the thing about SmackDown is I think SmackDown is a super interesting show. And I got to start at the top. Jinder Mahal is WWE champion.
What do you think of this?
Here's what I think. I think, A, it is fantastic because it brings back one of my favorite title reigns of all time. Who does that remind you of? The Jinder Mahal title reign.
Iron Sheik?
No. Think super classic title reign.
How long ago do you want me to go here?
That's not that far. I mean, you were alive. We'll say it like that.
I don't man.
Remember I said we wouldn't go back into the past?
Yeah.
Okay, think of JBL's title run.
Okay.
Remember JBL?
Yeah.
He was the
I kind of,
best.
you know what? I'm not gonna lie. There was a period for about 7 years I didn't really watch much.
Okay, so you don't remember the JBL title run?
Well, I know he was a champ, but like
Yes.
they had like 4 different champs at that time.
The thing about JBL's title run was he didn't win clean, but he always like he was an elitist, he was a jerk, and he always found a way to win. Right? I didn't like SummerSlam, so I can say that. Like the way the same way the Orton match ended, it doesn't gel. But they're not shying away from keeping the title on someone that everyone hates.
Yeah, I just there's 2 things. Like I'm with you. I love the whole Jinder Mahal title thing. I think they rushed it a bit.
Oh yeah,
because he was literally a jobber 1 week, then he went to SmackDown.
and he was #1 contender.
He went lost as the runner up in the Andre the Battle Royal or whatever at WrestleMania, and then they had like that 6-man. Whoever won it would be the #1 title guy.
And then he wins that.
And he won,
and the title hasn't lost since.
No, he hasn't. And I love it, man. I like that he's just like a good old fashioned bad guy that like no one likes him, right? No one in the crowd likes him. And he's got the Singh brothers who are awesome.
No, the best part is when he has the Punjabi celebrations in the middle of the ring. Everyone's enraged.
Yeah, I know. And then like
everywhere,
whatever city they're in, I forget. I think they were in like Idaho or Iowa, and they had all these like, where did they get those dancers from? Like, where did they bring? Because they weren't in Idaho, they weren't in Iowa. I don't know where they got them.
My people in my language. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I also think that he kind of saved the whole brand. Because really,
I don't know about that.
Put the title on AJ Styles, it's been done.
Yeah.
Right? You can't give it to Nakamura till WrestleMania, which is what I believe they're going to do.
Yeah.
Because that makes sense.
Yeah, like a lot of people are saying that Jinder was going to lose SummerSlam, but I was like, what? Nakamura really hasn't done much. Yeah. Right? Like, he hasn't really, he fought what? Ziggler? Cena. Like, that was a good match.
He
but
lost
like,
the Money in Bank.
Yeah, like, he hasn't really done much.
Yeah. Well, he can't do much.
No.
Really, there's a language barrier. Which, now, think of this, okay? Think of Asuka on NXT. She doesn't speak a lot of English.
No.
But she's a heel champion. Yeah. And it works so well. She beats the shit out of everybody. Yeah. And if you ask her any questions, she says, I'm the champion. Yeah. Nobody's ready for Asuka. No. This belt is mine. Yeah. And then she beats everybody up. Yeah. Why can't Nakamura be that guy?
He could be, but I just don't think he's been there. I guess you can't say long enough because Finn Balor won the title like a month into it being in WWE. But no, I think they can still ride Jinder out a bit. I thought that as soon as Cena came back, he would do the All-American thing and
job him out.
That's why when I was surprised when Nakamura beat him on that SmackDown, I was like,
that was a good turn.
Yeah, I was like, well, shit, who's gonna I don't understand this match. Like, they have no feud, nothing, right? It was just a match.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, whereas if you had Cena in it, okay, you could have the whole, this is America, man. Yeah, exactly. Which is an old school tactic.
But again, we have the background of WWE launching in India, and that's the largest market in the world. And because Jinder's from Toronto, technically.
Oh, I thought he's from Calgary.
That works too. Whatever.
Same thing,
he's
right?
Canadian.
He's Canadian.
So, so there's that sitting on the back end. So they're going to ride him out for what? Can't ride him out to WrestleMania. I think he's going to lose the title to John Cena.
So is Cena just going to flip-flop wherever he wants to go? You can go?
Cena's a free agent.
What does that mean, free agent?
I think he just comes in, fights all the top guys, gives you a lot of good matches, and he leaves. And that's like he's going to come in now, do a run, because he drops out Baron Corbin. Speaking of that, let's touch on that for a second. Baron Corbin in 1 week loses Money in the Bank, and then drops to John Cena. Is this guy in trouble?
Apparently, yeah.
Did he make someone really upset?
I don't know. He might have smacked Stephanie's ass somewhere down the road. I don't know, man. I don't know what he did.
I've never seen a fall from grace happen this fast.
Yeah, like he's I don't know what they're gonna do with him now. I don't know who he's gonna feud with on SmackDown because the guy who he just had a match with is gone. Who's he feuding with before? He's feuding with
feud with Sami Zayn for a while.
Sami Zayn, who's also in Purgatory.
Point. Yeah, Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
No point. And well, okay.
Was he even on SummerSlam?
No,
he wasn't.
And the reason why he wasn't on SummerSlam is because is there a spot for a dorky geek guy? And he's really doing it to himself. He should be going to Korea and be like, this
Yeah.
can't be me, because they're going to write him off the show, right? Dolph Ziggler, package him off the show. So, I mean, you don't want to be one of those guys, but I feel like that's where he's heading.
Yeah.
At this point. There's another guy, but I guess it's not the same, but Randy Orton.
Yeah.
When is the last time he did anything you cared about?
Gave the title up to Jinder Mahal.
And lost 2 rematches?
Yeah. He fought in a Punjabi prison, got choked by Great Khali.
Which was amazing. Yeah. No one liked the match, but Great Khali coming back was my favorite thing that happened.
I didn't see it coming.
I did.
No. I should have seen it coming. I didn't see it coming.
I should have seen it coming. I didn't. I don't know where they dug him up from, because he didn't look good at all.
No, well, I mean, he looked like he's never looked good. He's just
true.
a giant, weird, human-looking individual.
This is very true. My favorite guy on there, I almost say, but Kevin Owens.
Yeah,
might be my number one. I just like watching him. I want him to win every
He's good.
night. When he loses, I get upset. He's won every title except for the Intercontinental. No, he had that WWE Championship.
Tag team.
But
Has
he's
he had
not
the
a
tag team?
No, he's not a tag team.
Well, he hasn't won every
He's
title.
not a tag- Well, it doesn't count. Singles titles. He
You
just
know,
has to win
Cena
the
hasn't
WWE
won the
Championship.
Intercontinental title.
He hasn't?
No.
Wow.
That's why I thought they were going to have him go with The Miz to get that title. Because that's the only thing he hasn't won yet.
That could still happen.
Yeah.
They might say that. And then Miz will beat him, hopefully. 'Cause I hate John Cena.
I don't know.
I hate John Cena. But Kevin Owens takes a lot of clean pins. He gets beat up a lot. He gets pinned a lot out of nowhere.
Yeah, but he's also he's done everything too, right? Like he got handed the title to him after the Finn Balor injury when Triple H pedigreed Seth Rollins last year on Raw. So he's had his ups. He's never really had his downs though. He's always been at the top, whether he was on Raw or he was on SmackDown.
Yeah.
He's always been a focal point, and the crowd loves him, even though he's a bad guy. He was the face of America for a bit there.
Yeah, he had a good run.
that was a good.
When Balor goes down, he takes the Universal title and rides it for 6 months with Chris Jericho of all people, right?
Yeah.
Not everyone can do that.
No, that was good. That was a good run too with him and
right?
Jericho.
Yeah, that's amazing. I feel like that's like really good. Talked about the mishandling of Nakamura. Do you think he would actually be better as a heel, or do you think that what they're doing with him right now? Because I mean, he's got a push to the moon, technically.
Yeah, I just think the crowd loves him so much. They love his intro. He's got a lot of energy. He's weird. He's not like anyone we've seen before, but he's. I don't know, man. He's got a. I don't know what they do with him. I don't know. It's hard to give a foreign guy the title, right? Like as a good guy, because you know.
Well, he was NXT champion. It worked pretty well.
Yeah, but that's NXT, right?
That's true. It's not the
that's
same
just
level.
like you're borrowing a title for a bit.
Now,
when's the last time we had? Because I don't know this. I'm asking you. Maybe you'll know. When's the last time there was a face champion that was not like
American,
not Canadian either.
not American or Canadian.
Yeah,
like from like foreign soil.
It's foreign soil. Yeah. It's a good question.
It's a good question.
You don't have to look it up. That it makes you wonder who was.
Yeah. Well, well, the answer is really nobody. Nikolai Volkov was champion.
We're going that far? Holy cow.
I think we have to at that point. I'm thinking of like the 50 WWE champions.
Yeah, I can't think of any.
Was Khali champion ever?
Yeah, I think he might have been, but
yeah, he'll get one.
You know, like I said, back then they had
everyone got the belt for.
Everyone got the belt for
Kane
something.
was champion.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Okay. Tag division on SmackDown.
Usos look good, man.
I like them.
That feud is really good.
They're my favorite, but you have two teams. Everyone else, who cares? Ascension, Breezango. Right?
Breezango, you know what?
They're funny,
yeah,
but they don't even wrestle anymore.
I know.
There's no point in them wrestling.
No.
I think there's one title, one tag team title, and both sides can fight for it. And you got guys crossing over shows fighting for titles.
That'd be cool.
Right? And it gets a little interesting that way. But I feel like that would work.
They're so in love with that brand split that...
Yeah. Well, the shows are in the same place every time, which is great. So you can do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I also think the women's title, there should be one women's title, and then you have feuds outside the title.
Yeah, I agree, because there just isn't enough talent.
Yep.
Like, there isn't enough... That's why I talked about it earlier. Is it's always the same people fighting for it, right? Like and like the smaller, like the lesser known girls, or because no one cares about like Emma or Dana Brooke. Like you no, everyone knows they're not going to fight for the title, and if they do, it's like a unnecessary push.
Yeah, which doesn't make any sense.
So yeah, it's a good point. Like they should just have one title for that, or they could do like a intercontinental version of the women's title,
and then there's 2 titles.
Yeah, exactly.
But one's more important than the other.
Yes, exactly.
That makes total sense. Now, here's my first dream. What if Asuka, who just got injured, comes to SmackDown to fight a champion, Charlotte, for the Ultimate Supreme Women's Champion? The problem with this, though, is Charlotte's been taking a lot of pins lately. I don't like her losing. I don't think it's good for the brand.
Well, they like really, when she went to SmackDown, they made her a face, and she hasn't really done anything.
Yeah, well, it's completely.
She hasn't even fought for the title yet.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly.
I mean, now she can because
she's gonna fight Natalia.
Yeah, exactly.
Beat Natalia.
Probably.
And then Asuka comes and kicks her face off. That's what I think should happen.
That would be good.
Yeah, it would. Right? I make good TV. Look at that.
You know, why are we sitting here?
I have no idea. We should be writing for WWE.
You at least. I'll just.
Absolutely. You can be my consultant.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, sure. I got this idea. No. You already had it first.
How do you feel about Becky Lynch, though? You said she's one of the top, obviously.
She is. She's good. But, I mean, like, maybe she'll, now that the champion is a heel, there's more opportunity for, like, Becky, Charlotte. To go for the title. Naomi was good. I like Naomi too. Like if she
had a good run. I'm not a fan though. I hate the glow. I don't like.
Whatever. Yeah, well, she's like a EDM dancer or something. I don't know, man. It's weird.
I feel like that era's over now.
yeah. She's about 3 years late.
Yeah, remember she was a Funkadactyl. That'd be more.
Yeah.
Just get into the hip hop again, do some dancing.
At least she survived that mess of a tag team.
All right. Okay. We talked about. Okay, first of all, Bobby Roode coming up. Where does he fit in on SmackDown?
Well, I mean, obviously, since Jinder is the champion, it won't be there because he's going to come as a heel, obviously. He could go right for Shinsuke. They could just renew that, right? That was a good feud.
AJ Styles.
You think? Nah, I don't know, man.
Yep.
I guess, yeah, if Kevin Owens and AJ are done.
They must have fought before, too. Like, I mean...
Did they cross
Bobby
over?
Roode's been around, man.
Yeah. They may have crossed over like Ring of Honor or something.
Probably really easy for them to put a match together too. I think that's gonna happen. I think that's gonna happen tonight.
I still think AJ and Shinsuke. Maybe they're saving that for WrestleMania.
I think that is WrestleMania's main event.
So maybe we'll hold off on that for a bit.
It's a little later.
Yeah.
Okay. We compiled everything. Let's talk about dream matches.
Okay.
Coming up.
Of current wrestlers that are in WWE?
Current wrestlers in WWE on the roster right
now.
Where are your top dream? I have some written down, so I'm going to see if you get any of the ones that I have here.
Okay, so you want me to go first?
Yeah, pick one.
Okay, AJ and Shinsuke is up there.
Yeah, for sure.
That's one.
For sure, that's a good one.
Earlier, it'd be cool if we saw Shield versus Balor Club.
Yep. With
Finn Balor leading the way for the Bullet Club, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I want to see Strowman Lesnar.
Yeah, that's happening. That's on my list, too.
I think it is happening.
That is happening.
That is the No Mercy.
That's no way out.
Okay, yeah.
It is. Yeah, that's happening for sure. You know what else is obviously going to happen? Cena Reigns is going to happen, too.
Yeah, see, that they haven't fought yet, but I'm like, that's... Last night, we talked about it earlier.
No one cares.
Two guys who've done the same thing for so long that...
No one's going to want to see it.
Like, it's going to be an okay match, but, like, no one... There's nothing, like... There's no need to put anyone over because they're both big guys, right? Like, there's nothing...
Stars.
Yeah. I want to see more of Cesaro on his own.
You like Cesaro, eh?
I do like Cesaro.
I don't like him. I don't know why everyone has so high on this guy.
He's awesome, man. He's a big dude.
Running uppercuts.
Yeah, and he's giving everyone that wheel where he like
and he pendulum swings people.
Yeah. You don't like that? Oh man, I'd like him to do that to me. I'd like to get a.
See, exactly. You'd like to fight him, but you don't want to I don't want to watch that every week.
No.
You can't do that every week. Uppercut to the left, uppercuts to the right. Right. Okay. Now here's the start of my list.
Wait, I got one more.
Okay, you gotta go.
A tag one.
Okay.
I would like to see the New Day.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see him go against Rollins and Seth. Sorry, Seth Rollins and Ambrose.
Rollins and Ambrose. That'd be good. That'd be a good fight.
That would be very entertaining.
I do want to see like the New Day and Sanity, 2-3 people
Sanity,
tag teams.
Yeah.
I like those guys a lot, and I like how Nikki Cross interacts with the guys.
Remember
the days when girls
did you see her on
tables? Oh yeah.
Oh man,
that was awesome. Remember the days when the Dudleys were putting women through tables?
They were putting old women through tables. They put Mae Young through a table, man.
I was.
Do you remember that?
I was
they put an 80-year-old woman through a table, and not just like powerbomb. They jumped off the stage through a table,
and she still survived.
God rest her soul. She's dead now, but
back then, so these young girls can do it. If the young can do it, the young girls can do it.
No, I agree.
That's
But, yeah, what's your list?
So here's what I got: the WWE title in
Which
a
one?
feud. The WWE title.
Okay.
WWE title. Should be Samoa Joe, AJ Styles. I know Samoa's not there, but they can make whatever they want happen.
Yeah.
But they've fought before, obviously. But them fighting on a high scale would be great. Shinsuke Nakamura, Seth Rollins.
That'd be good. Yeah.
Great fight.
That'd be a great fight.
Now Neville and Demon King Finn Balor.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah. Look at you. Eh?
I know. I'm telling you.
When you know in advance, you have time to make up a list. It must be nice to come up with this list.
It's a good list. It's a good list. Randy Orton, Kevin Owens.
Okay.
Dash Dawson, Rollins, Ambrose.
Okay,
That's another. Triple H, Kurt Angle. If that doesn't happen,
that's a good one. Yeah. That's got WrestleMania written all over it.
All over it. Undertaker's got to come back. Maybe Undertaker and Kane against the Wyatt family.
Okay, not to sidetrack you from this, because we haven't talked about him yet, but what about Jason Jordan? What do you think of him? What's going on with him, man?
I think he sucks. I think both of them suck. I don't care about any of those guys. And, that storyline they try to put together, I get it.
No, do you, though?
Yeah.
Because I don't.
I get it. First of all, Kurt Angle likes black women. So it's a rib on Kurt for his love of... That's what I heard.
You think it was his idea?
That's what I heard. Yeah, I heard it's a rib on Kurt for his love of black women.
He loved black women so much that they wanted to give him a half-black son.
Basically, they gave him a half-black... Because it could have been just Chad Gable. It would have been so much easier, right?
Yeah.
So I heard that. And then after it, where's it going to go? I think what they're going to do is they're going to make Jason Jordan turn heel and Kurt Angle's going to get upset. It's going to be a big family moment thing.
It seems like no one's really buying into him right now, right? Because they were booing the crap out of him when he was in Toronto. They were trying to make him a good guy.
Yep.
And they have to tag him with good guys to get him over, right? That's what
they're trying to do.
When they did it with the Hardys
yep.
Against Miz and the Miz Taraj.
They said it was going to be, they're going to get a push. But what are you pushing?
Yeah,
this guy came from nothing. And again, there's no personality. There's no developing arcing character.
He just runs around with a smile.
And he gets
weird
mad
smile.
once in a while, right?
Yeah, which I think that they could turn that into something.
That's why I think he turns into a super heel and Kurt gets upset, whatever. But now we're completely in soap opera territory. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it is wrestling, man. That is part of why we watch it.
I know, but
the soap opera stuff. Come on.
That is as far can be far. No?
Well, I mean, we've already gone this far by having... a fake son of Kurt Angle's.
Being Vince McMahon's
no, I mean, yeah, well, that's back in the day.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you've gone this far with Kurt Angle having a fake,
go all the way,
half black son, then yeah, why not just go full crazy storyline, man? Get even more crazy. Let's get more crazy. How can you make it more crazy?
Yeah, I guess you got to do something.
You're gonna make Jazz the mother?
Something wild. Nia Jax is the mom, and just this crazy, amazing storyline. And then I have 2 women's matches. Actually, Cruiserweight should have a Money in the Bank, is what I think should happen. I think it should be every other month. Money in the Bank's an awesome concept.
It is a good concept.
And the fact it only happens once a year is kind of because with Corbin getting screwed out of his, that's a huge story arc that just got ruined for no reason.
It got ruined in 10 seconds.
They need to start making it so it's kind of consistent.
And they also need to do it with both brands, not just one.
Yes, so there'll be 2 of them.
Because why does SmackDown get
Money in the Bank?
I'm glad they made the women have one.
Yeah, it's pretty
They should also make a tag team one, and they should do it for both brands.
Yeah, that makes sense. Remember the hardcore title that was defendable 24/7?
Yeah,
that was some of the most exciting stuff I've ever seen.
I know we were talking wrestling, and I could not get through this podcast without talking about my favorite hardcore champion and one of my favorite stables, Pete Gas from the Mean Street Posse. Do you remember the Mean Street Posse?
I love the Mean Street Posse.
Mean Street Posse. I don't know if you ever get a chance. When we're done this, look up their promo video of coming in. They're introducing them. It's they have these white guys in sweater vests pushing people around in their old town to Jamaican music. That was the music playing while they were doing it, and they were walking around going to the barbers and smacking the barber in the face.
It's just classic.
And it was just some of Shane McMahon's buddies. I think one was an actual wrestler, and the other 2
one
guys
ended up being what's that guy? Gronk helped him in the Andre the Giant Roll.
No, that's not.
That was him.
No, Mojo Rawley.
I thought he was one.
Dude, I should also mention this. I saw Mojo Rawley when they were in Toronto a couple of weeks ago. I went to a Veld after party with like Dead Mouse and who's that guy from Major Lazer? Diplo.
And that's where Wells hangs out, guys.
Oh, it was a good party. Anyways, and they had Mojo Rawley was there, like in the booth, like going nuts. Yeah, he was going nuts. That's my Mojo Rawley story.
Good guy. Where were we?
Well, we were finishing up your dream matches with the women.
Ah, nice. Okay. Bailey, Sasha Banks, obviously. Asuka, Charlotte. How do you feel about Dana Brooke, Mickie James? I love Mickie James.
You sound like you love both of them.
Yeah, probably because I saw her naked.
You seen who? Mickie James?
Yeah, well, all the pictures and stuff. Not in real life, because that'd be another story for another time.
Oh, I was like, whoa, good for you, man.
Yeah, man. Right? That'd be a great...
A long time ago, though, right?
Long time ago.
Yeah, Mickie James, I mean, she's, pushing 40?
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good in the ring.
Yeah, she's lost. Like, they don't know what to do with her.
No. Here's what I think. I think you got to give people like that, vets, give them one last run and make it hard to beat them. I'm tired of this, like, you win the belt, 2 weeks later, someone else wins the belt, 2 weeks later. You got to have a champion that, for one reason or another, doesn't lose the belt.
Yeah.
Which is why I kind of liked Alexa being champion.
Yeah, she had it for a bit.
Yeah,
Naomi had it for a bit, too.
Yeah.
I mean, she only really lost it because she got hurt, and then she got it right back.
Yeah. Well, she had a good run.
Yeah.
I think it's over now for her. The glow
Could be.
Go.
She might have to go with the Usos again.
I'm tired of that crap. I need something more. Just something better. Do you know what I mean?
Kurt Angle will give her a push if we bring her into the Raw.
There you go. Kurt will put her on.
Yeah, maybe that's why Sasha's the champion now.
She ends up being Jason Jordan's mom.
Oh,
and
man.
It just gets horrible from there. God. When do you think Triple H comes back?
I'm going to say around Survivor Series.
Yeah, that's his time.
Yeah, or like before building up to Survivor Series, maybe October or so, because that's the next big one, right? Is Survivor Series.
They might go, oh, you know what? Triple H, Joe against Angle and Jordan.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, sure. But I think when you look towards Survivor Series, you're looking at SmackDown versus Raw, right? Which I like what they did last year.
Yes, that was very good.
So, and then they have like the guys from SmackDown going on Raw and vice versa.
Yeah.
So we'll see where they go with that. But there's also like, I feel like Survivor Series is kind of the starting point for when you want to build your WrestleMania.
It is WrestleMania season. That's when WrestleMania starts.
That's when it starts, right?
Yeah,
Royal Rumble's like the middle of it.
Oh, Royal Rumble. I totally forgot about Royal Rumble.
Yeah, you go Survivor Series, kind of like you plant the seeds.
Yes.
Royal Rumble, you see those seeds grown into little plants,
It gets
and
put
then
together, and
yeah,
then the show comes together for WrestleMania.
And I think a good example of that was when Sting came in at Survivor Series a couple years ago, and then that whole thing brewed into WrestleMania Sting versus Triple H. So if you want to see Triple H versus Angle, something starts happening around Survivor Series or so, then...
No. What do you think the Corey Graves angle is?
What, the Insider?
Yeah.
Well, they also have Byron Saxon on SmackDown. It's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's cool. Like, not cool, sorry, but I think it's just another...
Why can't it be cool? Let's turn it back. What's wrong with it?
Well, because it's a fake show.
Yeah, well,
right? And he's got breaking news. I have this information. He's like looking at his phone, like...
I know this thing that no one else knows.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, oh, wow, man. How do you know? Like, what are your sources?
I feel like...
Oh, and he can never disclose the source, obviously.
Which is the best part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Just remember the Raw had that GM that was just like the computer.
Oh, my God, man. And it made that noise, and Michael Cole got out of his chair, and everyone booed him.
It was for like a year. It was a year straight.
Did they ever say who it was? Or?
It was Hornswoggle. It's always Hornswoggle, just in case you didn't know. It's always Hornswoggle. God,
jeez.
Man. All right.
Dark days.
Yeah, whatever. That's our breakdown of wrestling. Long story short, at the end of WrestleMania, who has the belt? Who has the Raw belt? Who has the SmackDown belt?
If they stay, like, if they don't do any shakeups, I think you're looking at AJ Styles as the SmackDown champion.
Yeah.
And Raw, it won't be Lesnar, that's for sure.
No. He's definitely going to go fight Bones.
Finn Balor.
Finn Balor?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know, man. I know.
I think Samoa Joe loses the title to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. I know. Man. But every year he just has it at the end, so he can't change it now. And then in the SmackDown side, I think Nakamura beats AJ Styles.
Okay, so I think we have the same matchup.
We have the same main events. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think I don't know, man. I think AJ Styles is going to do this whole U.S. championship for a bit, lose it to someone, and then I think, come Royal Rumble and all that stuff, he starts marching towards the championship.
I think he'll end up winning the Rumble. Yeah, because he started 2 years ago, right? He came in the Rumble the first time, and then he was in the championship match last year, so he wasn't in the Rumble. So this year he wins it, which will be really nice. Let's talk some Blue Jays quick.
Okay. Wow, that's a complete 180, man.
I'm like, well, we're done with that now.
Okay,
We've gone through WWE. Let's get into one thing that I know you know a lot about. Now, the Jays are, 4 games out of the wild card spot.
Is that all right now?
That's all. Now, there's 5 teams in between them and an actual wild card berth. But the Jays have been known to go on 10 to 12 game win streaks.
Not this year.
Okay, let's start with that. The first question was, is it possible?
Anything's possible, especially but I'll get to that.
Yeah,
anything is possible in baseball because baseball is one of the sports where literally anything can happen, right? Like it's a very random sport, like random incidents, right? Like Randy Johnson throwing a pitch and hitting a bird, like that'll never ever happen. We'll never see that again in our life, like stuff like that, right? Baseball's full of so many weird odds and ends. This is gonna go back about 10 years or so, but before we had the second wild card, the Colorado Rockies were like a 500 team, and they won 26 of their last 29 games.
I remember that.
To make it, going into the they went all the way right to the World Series, got swept by Boston. But and so anything's possible. Yes, anything is possible. Can the Jays do it this year? They've never won more than 6 games this year.
Yeah.
They've never been above 500 this year.
Yeah.
They just don't have it, man. They don't have the depth. They don't have the right lineup to do it. They have a lot of good players. They have some good pitchers, but they can never put it all together, ever.
Because in theory, on paper, this team's better than last year's team.
If you look at it,
almost no questions asked.
I don't know. What makes you think it's better than last year?
Well, Smoke is the same production as Encarnacion, technically.
Sure, and we got Morales.
Right. You still have Joey Bats.
Mm-hmm.
You still have Tulo.
Tulo's hurt.
Whatever.
And he's a shadow of what he was.
Yeah, that's true.
Even 2 years ago.
Wow.
But yeah, you're right. Like on paper, even coming in this year, if you just replace if you replace Morales with Encarnacion,
same team.
It's kind of the same player.
Yeah.
But now you have Smoke, who's having a career year.
Yeah.
But you're also looking at guys who are having down years, right?
Wow.
And Batista has been.
We shouldn't have signed him back, but here he is.
But how could you let him go, right? Like,
well, you just give him my Encarnacion. And then Morales replaces Joey Bats.
Well, if we keep Edwin, we don't have what Smoke did this year, right?
Yeah, well, that's the problem. Well, why can't Smoke that DH and then Encarnacion?
What do you do with Morales? Morales can't do anything other than sit on the bench and hit. But the main thing this year is pitching, man. Like last year, they had probably the best rotation in all baseball.
And this year,
they only used 7 starters last year.
Yeah,
and that's because they traded Hutchison, who was one of their 7 starters, for another guy, and they had like a 6-man rotation at one point. So they had the healthiest pitching staff. They had a good bullpen, and that's the biggest thing, right?
Yeah,
they have lost 11 games by a walk-off this year, which is the most in any team, which means they've walked off 11 times, right? Which is 11 wins you should have had. And, I mean, like, 11 wins you should have had, and that makes so much more of a difference, especially when you're only 4 or 5 games out of a wild card spot, right? And at the time, it may not seem that much, but it all adds up, right? It's a 162-game season, so a loss in April, that's bad. A loss in May, that's bad. It comes to haunt you come around this time.
So that's where they're at right now. And they don't blow it up. They obviously didn't. So they're bringing back the same old goats.
Well, you can't blow it up, right? Especially they announced that they're raising season ticket prices. So how do you blow it up, lose some of your biggest players,
and then raise the price?
And raise them back? So how do you do that?
The players win. The players right now got the owners by the balls. Here's what you're trying to say.
No, it's not that. It's just the owners invested into this group. They thought they could get a couple more winning years out of it, and they want to keep the people coming, obviously, because that's where you make your money.
Yeah.
Right?
So, okay, so final verdict. Or is this the start of these guys aren't that good anymore?
Yes, it's both.
Oh.
It's an off year, and these guys they're getting older.
And that's it.
They're getting older.
So you're saying that's the end of the Jays?
No, I'm not saying that. There's a lot of bright future coming ahead. I mean, like Vladdy Guerrero Jr. is a beast. He is tearing up every league he's in. And you got Bo Bichette, who is Dante Bichette's son, who is right there with him. They're playing the same level. They've been promoted twice already together. And then you have other guys like Alfred, Dwight Smith Jr., Sean Reed Floyd. There's a lot of good prospects still. So
you're saying the system still has guys to reload.
Yes.
The old guys will come out. Will they continue to win?
I think this year is a bad year. Next year, I don't think it can get any worse, but it won't be any that much better.
Because the new guys will be coming
So
up.
next year will be kind of like a bridge year.
Yeah.
And then I think 2019 is when things can get better. I know. It seems so far away.
That's horrible. Okay. All right. So we're going to get out of here, but your final logic, who's winning the World Series this year and why?
Cleveland Indians are going to win this year because they're healthier rotation this year than they were last year. And they're just a more sound team than they were last year. And they beat the Washington Nationals in the World Series. Don't believe the Dodgers hype, people. Don't.
They're not that team this year?
I just think they peaked. This is when they peaked. They're like the Golden State Warriors of the year they had the best record in all of basketball. I think they just peaked.
Nice. All right, well, Wells is the host of Horseplay. You guys catch that as part of the Park Daily family. This is Smythe and Wellsy signing off from the team podcast of the Zero Series, and we will catch you guys for the start of the season very soon. Peace out.
Bye.